Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Newsbrowse News broadcast. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un convened a meeting with commanding officers from across the country's armed forces, calling for the creation of an impregnable fortress along the southern border with South Korea, UPI reported. This marks the first such gathering since Kim assumed powers in 2011. During the meeting, Kim emphasized the need for the rapid modernization of military and technical equipment and urged adaptation of military training to the evolving nature of modern warfare. He specifically highlighted strengthening first-line units and reorganizing military structure to bolster deterrence capabilities. Earlier this month, Pyongyang announced plans to deploy new 155mm self-propelled howitzers to frontline artillery units. These actions align with North Korea's increasingly hardline military posture towards Seoul, including recent constitutional revisions that removed references to reunification, officially redefining inter-Korean ties as relations between two separate states. South Korea's unification ministry views the meeting as an attempt to boost military morale and reinforce ideological discipline in modernization efforts, while vowing to continue efforts to reduce tensions. Al Jazeera reports a severe bread shortage is worsening in Gaza due to ongoing Israeli restrictions on fuel and flour imports. Residents like 14-year-old Muhande El Rubi endure long queues, often returning home empty-handed. Gaza's government media office head, Ismail Al-Thawabda, states that only 200 tons of the required 450 tons of flour are entering daily. The World Food Program has reduced its bakery supplies, impacting over a third of Gaza's population reliant on subsidized bread. Vulnerable individuals, such as 72-year-old Maysar Abu Rekab, struggle to access food amidst rising black market prices. The crisis is compounded by a sharp decrease in cooking gas and soaring firewood costs. Bakeries also face high operating costs due to expensive oil for electricity generators, passing these increases on to consumers. Palestinians fear a return to last year's famine conditions, calling for urgent solutions. A powerful 5.2 magnitude earthquake struck South China's Guangxi region early Monday, resulting in 2 fatalities and 4 non-life-threatening injuries. The tremor caused buildings to collapse and led to the evacuation of over 7,000 residents from Luzhou City. Rescue operations, involving more than 300 personnel and 51 vehicles, successfully located a 91-year-old man trapped in the rubble, finding him alive and in good condition. The quake also triggered landslides that blocked roads, and train services in the area were canceled or delayed. Despite the destruction, essential services like communication, power, water, and gas supplies remained operational. Earthquakes are not uncommon in southern China, though more intense ones typically occur in the mountainous west or towards Taiwan. This incident is reported by the Daily Express, noting it occurred on the same day as severe flooding in Hunan province, where shops were submerged, though no casualties were reported from the floods. The South Korean government has signaled its readiness to invoke emergency adjustment powers, a drastic measure not used since 2005, to suspend an impending strike by Samsung Electronics' largest union. Prime Minister Kim Min-ae stated that if the strike poses a significant threat to the national economy, the government will consider all response options, including emergency adjustment. This potential intervention comes as mediation efforts continue, with a critical second round scheduled for Monday. Labor groups have strongly criticized the government's stance, arguing that invoking emergency powers on economic grounds would set a dangerous precedent, effectively constraining the constitutional rights of workers at major corporations to strike. Experts also express concern that such a move might exacerbate the conflict rather than resolve it. The Emergency Adjustment System, outlined in the Trade Union and Labor Relations Adjustment Act, allows the Minister of Employment and Labor to halt industrial action that could harm the national economy or endanger citizens' daily lives, forcing unions to accept mediation. According to Taibao Thai Sounds, the European Union is reportedly formulating a new strategy to address escalating trade tensions with China. The Financial Times reports that this plan would mandate European companies to procure critical components from a minimum of 3 distinct suppliers, specifically to lessen reliance on China. The initiative, revealed by 2 EU officials, targets key sectors such as chemicals and industrial machinery, which have recently faced an influx of inexpensive Chinese products. This move is also a direct response to Beijing's restrictions on crucial technology exports. The proposed rules would cap procurement from a single supplier at 30% to 40%, with remaining components needing to be sourced from at least 3 different suppliers, none of whom can be from the same country. EU Trade Affairs Commissioner Mauro Shefkajuro aims to reduce the daily €1 billion trade deficit with China and shield businesses from the impact of China's weaponization of trade. Furthermore, Shefkajuro intends to impose substantial punitive tariffs on Chinese chemical and machinery products to prevent further disruption to European manufacturing. The plan is currently in its preliminary stages and is expected to be presented at an EU Commission meeting on May 29th, potentially gaining endorsement at the EU summit in late June. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.